Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to this month's Christmas In. So Christmas in October. Now, this is going to be sort of a little bit, I guess, the beginning of a series, a sort of part of the Let's Get Organized Christmas edition that I started last year when I organized all of my Christmas supplies. This year, I'm going to organize my Christmas album, and we're going to start by looking at my generic album, and this is terrible, my friends, because at the moment it is in one album. Look at the size. Can you see that properly? Yeah, look at how full that is. That is not right. So we're going to start by splitting it in two. So I bought a couple of albums. This is as close as I could get to red. I got these on Amazon at a very reasonable price. I mean, I do love the We Are Memory Keepers albums, but they're like $50, $60 now here, at least here in Canada, and there's no way I can or want to pay that amount of money for an album. So I got these on Amazon. The brand, I think, is called Pioneer. They're pretty good quality. What I do find is the sizing is a little bit tight, but they are 12 by 12, and the 12 by 12 page protectors and pages fit in, but there's sort of not a lot of wiggle room like there is in the We Are Memory Keeper, where there is, maybe sort of a half an inch or even a little bit more all the way around. But they are going to do the job, and I've got two of them, and these two will finish my generic December documented albums, because one of the things I've been thinking about, of course, as I've mentioned to you, is the amount of albums that I'm collecting, and they will have to be moved someday. And there's nobody really to keep them necessarily afterwards, or at least not these types of albums. So I'm going to go through this. There's going to be some playing around with it a little bit, because as you know, if you've been following me for a while, this album came about after 2 or 3 years of unsuccessful December documented albums that I had started. Journal Your Christmas, where I started, and maybe even more than 2 or 3 years, because you can see here this title page was 2012, and then you're going to see some other pages, I think, from like 2018, 17, 18. So for maybe even 5 years. And then I said, well, you know what? Obviously, I'm not going to manage a December documented album properly, so let's do a generic album. So it started with a little bit of a jumble of layouts. And then in 2020, I was successful, 2020, 2021, and 2022 of doing a 6x8 December documented album from beginning to end, which I'm just thrilled about. And I need to take a second here to thank my lovely, lovely friends Helen, Christy, and also Kelly Oblak, who I love watching. I love watching her December documented albums as well. That sort of got me into finding an easier way to do my December documented. So what I've done then is, then I started this generic album. I added a bunch of stuff to it, and then I have been recording and creating layouts since. So I sort of did categories, sort of. So I'm going to go through this a little bit quickly with you, and then hopefully we'll be able to start some of the repairing and documenting. Now you see here, so I put this because I did it in 2012, Journal Your Christmas, the manifesto, a little decorating here because I intended to start doing an album, which I never did. Now, so I just popped that here as an intro. I still want an introductory page, but this sort of doesn't really serve the purpose, does it? So I think we'll remove this and see if there is some of this that I can salvage or that I want to salvage. Now you see, I like this. I like this stamping, so I'm not quite sure. I could maybe, journal your Christmas, but it's more of a December documented if there is a difference. So unless I do something like I leave the journal your Christmas here, take the year off here and see if I can get this manifesto off, or maybe just put something on top of it where I could do December documented. I'm not quite sure enough I can get this off because I love this little penguin, but this page as is doesn't really serve the purpose it should. So now I have here, now you see, so these were ideas that I had to put sort of the manifestos or the intro. So hello December, month of calm. I guess all this calm must have been perhaps my manifesto for the year 2015. No, at the end of this is, yeah, Christmas 2015. So I had a pocket page ready here. So we'll have to see. This then, because as you know, a lot of my Christmas or December stuff starts in November because, of course, at the bakery, we get into our crazy work rush very, very early December. So this was a fun crop with some friends to get our Christmas cards done, November 7th and 8th. I'll have to look exactly what year that was. I think it was 2017, but I do have that somewhere. So you see some of these, because I was thinking I was going to do them by year, don't have the date. One of the Christmas parties. Now you see, I have two of those here. So 2018, and this would have been 2017. But you see, I have two of these. I don't need any more, and I have recorded them in my smaller albums. So that also has me thinking that this is a little something that happens every year at the bakery. Originally, it was all of the stores in our production facility. Then, of course, it got totally canceled for during COVID. And then when it reopened a little bit, just our store, we did a lovely dinner, and we've been doing that for a couple of years. So all of that is now recorded. So I really don't need anything more about this. So these are the November. This was something I wanted to record, which was a fun time in Cornwall. And I do still think I want to record this because I used to also take a little bit of time off, vacation, the last week of November, very, very first week of December, before the crazy started. But I don't need to do that anymore since I really only work 2 days a week. But I did do that then, and I went to spend a lovely weekend in Cornwall. So that was sort of part of my getting ready for December. So I still want to record that. Now, oh, look, this is even coming out. Then we have here Christmas lights. So I guess I'm getting into sort of decorating and my little town, the Christmas lights. But you see now this here, this, I have it in sort of a big 6 by 12 here, but I don't think this needs anything more. So I don't really need, this could go perfectly fine in a 6 by 12. Now, the only problem with these is they are divided, and this is not. So we'll have to see what we do with that. But I think this sort of does it, and it shows a little bit of the decorating and the lights in my little town. Then the sort of this documented, this was December 6th. This is at our big garden center. And when my mom used to live, I used to pass by this all the time walking to my mom's. And this used to always sort of say, okay, Christmas season is started. Hey ho. Again, now you see the Christmas lights and the little Christmas market that we have. Making Christmas cards. So you see now there's a few spots left here that I haven't finished recording. I could just finish that, but then that is done. So cards, Christmas trees, when I was able to finally get my own. This is 2019. Although Chopin is almost 13, this was the first year that I got a tree, a very, very small one, and there's Chopin sort of having a look at it. These are the decorations and trees at my mom's. So you see this definitely there when it was a little bit more decorated. When I was young, 1961, when we were in the apartment, probably 7 or 8 years later, my mom and her Christmas tree at the first residence. So you see all of these are completely done. Christmas cards again, so I can move that over to the other, and then we'll see how much of the other one that I really need. Movies and TV, and this here was a year where I started sort of through all of the rushing around at work. I would come home to try and have some quiet evenings, and I started finding some fun either Netflix or Acorn or BritBox series to watch, and some movies. So I have a little bit more maybe to record here to finish this off, but that sort of gives the idea of I enjoy some series, some bringing in sort of my cozy mysteries into series. I love Christmas movies. Then we start getting into, you know, Santa, and this is me when I was younger, so this is fun to have that recorded. And then this one here that Christy had sent me, this fun photo, and this was Chopin, so I've got that recorded, all about Christmas shopping. Now you see I did this twice. There was no real reason. This is 2014, and this is probably, I don't know if it's the year before or the year after. I'll look at it's probably on my Instagram. Oh, 13. It's right there. So you see there's no real reason to do that twice, but Christmas shopping and my dislike of Christmas shopping. Making Christmas presents, that is something fun to have recorded, but it's now recorded. And you can see I have different sizes in here because, of course, I started trying to do small December documented albums. Wrapping presents is another category here with my Chopin, and then opening presents when I was a child. So I have quite a few of those, so that's pretty much all done. Then we get into Christmas dinners and family games and things like that, and food. So I have all of those categories. So this is all about food, trifle, Christmas logs at the bakery, which is sort of a different tradition. So what I'm trying to do in this generic album is have some of the different items. So you see here I'm talking about my mom's shortbreads. So 10 out of 10. She obviously doesn't make them anymore. Deb does, and makes them, but really makes them for her dad and for my mom. But this was a tradition for so many years. Throughout my marriage, it was more the, you know, mince pies and Christmas pudding and trifle that I would make. After my divorce, we would have sort of like a family game day that we brought in my home. Now, there's a few holes here that I may need to fill of some Christmases throughout my marriage and my ex-husband's family. And now our desserts, of course, being the Christmas logs from the bakery, a traditional Christmas dinner. I hope you're seeing most of this. Yeah, I think it's not too bad. Changing the tradition in 2013 where we had a much smaller Christmas and decided to forego the turkey and everything like that and moved things into some sort of treats that we all enjoyed a lot more than turkey. Even here, some salmon, and then 2020 dinner for one. So that needs to be in the book. This was then in 2019 at Joey's parents' and at the bakery, when we were doing a lot of buffets for people and some silliness of work-related items. So you can see that I have a variety, and then at the bakery, our Christmas Eve day at the bakery. Now you see I have quite a few of those, because you're going to see I have another couple of layouts that are not in here yet. But you see here, they're already layouts that don't really need to be repeated, because this is 2013, 2016. Now, one that I do want in here, of course, is 2000. I'm not sure whether this is 2020 or 21. I think it's 2021, but I do want to have that because it is very, very different. But other than that, we're done. I mean, that is recorded. Having 3 layouts of a few different years gives me that entire story. Decorating the store, my Christmas cozies that are not in here, so my reading back in the film category. So you can see here I pretty much have everything done, and then this is just really, really getting ready. The container full, our walk-in, one of our walk-in freezers full, and then Christmas Eve weather. And the big thing here was this particular year, 2015, we had like 20 or 25 degree weather. It was 16 by noon, and it got to 20, and then it got to even higher than that. So some Christmas Eve weather that I have here. So again, you see I have some spots here just to show the differences that we can have here. So if we look at this, everything is here. Some of it needs a little bit of organizing, rearranging, and adding into, making it into 2 albums. And this year my goal is to finish this off. So I have my reading here, which I think will finish that off. The store decorated, that is done. Another one of a group photo Christmas Eve at the store, which will also make that done. And really where we need to work a little bit more is on the beginning part of this album, getting this a little bit more organized. So I think I will take you along with me if you feel like it, and we will, you see already here, I'm not even sure, quite honestly, that I need any of these. I kind of like the Hello December. I might put it in, I think we'll put it maybe into a 6x12 here at the beginning. And I'll keep this, I suppose, because it's sort of maybe something nice to look back on for the fun of it. And then I might do one for this year, but I don't think I need a full 12x12 here for some sort of manifesto. I don't really do that anymore. I just enjoy December. I really just enjoy December. So this, for sure, we're going to take out of here. I'm going to put this in a 6x12, and we'll just do a little bit of decorating. I think I will keep this, and I might keep this as well, because it's something I did, and I might sort of put here some, you know, things that I enjoy doing every December and turn it into a 4x6. I think I would do that here, get another page, and then here I can just put some items, and then do a little bit of journaling of things that come back every year that I really enjoy and that make my December enjoyable. And this one, I need to think about. This I do need to think about. There we go. Now, you see, so I can get rid of this page. Now here, again, I have, this is just a sort of 6x8, but now coming into, I think it's fine the way it is in this album, but I'm thinking, tell me what you think. Should I take some of these 6x8s and maybe get a smaller album because they were more specific to years? Although, no, this is something that we did for 3 or 4 years running. I guess we basically did it up to and including 2019, and then of course everything went by the wayside. So I think I could maybe put this also into a 6x12 and then have a journaling piece down here that just talks about this fun weekend get-together that we did early in November for 3 or 4 years with some of my local friends, where we did Christmas cards. Some of my local friends that we would get together and have a weekend. And quite frankly, with COVID, we don't do it anymore, and I'm no longer really feeling the packing up my stuff and going somewhere, and certainly not, we used to do Friday evening until like midnight, and then all day Saturday kind of thing until about 10 in the evening. That no longer fits into my kind of schedule, my friends. I'm up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm useless in the evenings, and I don't really feel like anymore sort of packing up all my stuff and doing the 4 floors of carting things around. But it definitely was fun and something I definitely enjoyed, and I enjoy it differently now, that's all. So I think that's the kind of thing I would do here. So I'm going to turn this into a 6x12, I think, with some journaling. The party's done and dusted. In my 3 smaller albums, I've recorded those for 2020, 21 and 22, so that will take care of that. Nothing more to do here. I'm going to leave this one just the way it is. And I guess there was, this party here was at this restaurant, so maybe I'll just complete this for the fun of it. This this was a different year. This is 2012. So I don't know. And this was somewhere else completely in a different group. So I may just do a little page of that because it's a different team. So we'll see and sort of pop that in there. But my idea here is to, if I can, even maybe downsize this a little bit. And I think I have everything. As I said, I may have a couple more 12x12s to do of Christmases and the traditions when I was married, and through those Christmases, maybe 1 page to record that and that family. But other than that, and maybe the first couple of years after my divorce, which was a little bit different than it is now as well. So I'm going to take you along with me. I think the introductory part of this is long enough, my friends, so I will stop here. And I think what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to get a little bit of work. I'm going to split it into the 2 albums, and then we can work on 1 album at a time, sort of going through the pages and reorganizing them, and maybe even working on a couple of layouts together through October into about mid-November. And then we'll start looking at how I intend to approach my 6x8 December documented for this year, because that will be different as well. So there you go, my friends. Thank you so much. Very different. I hope this didn't bore you to tears looking through this kind of thing, but I enjoy this. Now I just need to get this into shape, have 2 albums, and that will take care of generic albums. And quite honestly, unless there's anything very, very different, I probably won't be recording any more 12x12 Christmas layouts. So please make sure you pop on down below and see what everybody else has for you Christmas in October. And that's what we do. Every month we get together on the 25th and we do something Christmassy, whether it's a layout, going through albums, a flip through of the previous years, getting some foundation pages ready for this year, Christmas cards. Anything goes, my friends. And if you want to join us, don't hesitate to leave me a comment or pop me a message. And I'll see you back here on the 25th of November. But we'll do a few extra Let's Get Organized Christmas edition between now and then. See you soon, my friends. Bye for now.